I found something pretty incredible here. It's the first time in my prospecting career that I've actually what we call specked gold. Now I've just cleaned out, I've just heaved up this huge rock, which has been a really good crevice because the water's been coming up here. You can see the remaining rock there, just here. The water's been coming up here, it's been flowing down this way, and there's a crevice in between this rock and this rock where everything's been going, and it's particularly rich in gold. And so I've scraped all the loose stuff out, and while I've been doing that, I've actually for the first time specked gold, which means that I've actually seen the gold before I put it in the bowl, and I've even seen gold still sitting there, which I'll show you in a second. But here's an example here. I'll try and show you. There's a white dot there in that bit of clay. There it is there, and that is actual gold sitting in the clay. Now I'll show you over here in the crevice, if I can spot it again. Sorry folks, I had to get my glasses on. I can actually see gold still sitting there. If you look very closely at the end of my fingertip, there's a little yellow dot. That's real gold. Just sitting there, waiting for me to pull it out. In fact, there's another bit here. Right there, end of my fingertip. And I actually pulled a nice little bit out before. But there are various ones in here, and I'm actually going to excise all that clay to work it at home. And I might not even bother panning this because I know it's very rich. I'll just bring it. Right, I've just ripped up another bit of rock that was in here, and I've specked another couple of bits of gold. This one here is there at my end of my fingertip, is just sitting there on that ledge. And there's another one here, very small one, right there in my fingertip. And there's another one here somewhere. I just spotted it, now I've lost it. Pretty small. Anyway, it's there somewhere. Alright, I just finished clearing that out. First I cleared the dry and loose soil out, and then I cleared the clay out separately, put it in a separate container so I can work it, because clay's a lot harder to work. You have to dissolve all the particles, and takes a lot longer to work. But I'll tell you what, I have never ever seen so many, I've never specked gold before at all, let alone, there must have been hundreds that I specked when I took out the soil from here, and it's just a real buzz. It's great. So that's the hole there. Now it's been cleaned of all the clay that was lining the edge, and this is the clay here, and that's the loose soil, loose dry soil there. And I know that it's full of specks of gold, so I'm not even going to bother to process it now. Now I've moved across from that one to this one that I'd done previously, this area here which I'd removed, and wouldn't you believe it, I mustn't have checked very well, because look at this, these two little beauties here were just sitting on the surface of the clay just here, and numerous other small, very small ones. So anyway, so now I'm going to take this up, get all the stuff underneath there, and there should be a lot more gold in there. I've just been watching the footage that I took today, where I specked those two larger flakes of gold on workings that I'd done on a previous trip, and they were just, you know, like sitting there out in the open. You could, obviously I missed them, but you could actually see them. And that reminded me of, just now actually, of some things that I've read in old books about the old time prospectors who, you know, ranged across the country looking for gold. And there's many accounts of these old prospectors just coming across gold just lying on the surface, you know, like nuggets actually lying on the surface, and they're just wandering around picking them up off the surface. And yeah, so that's what it reminded me of today. So, you know, it's sort of like reminiscent of the old days, although on a much smaller scale, I might say. Anyway, time for bed. It's about 9 o'clock now. I'm pretty tired, so I'm here at Jamison. Tomorrow I'm heading up towards Woods Point in search of hopefully some small nuggets.